Georgia State! To Georgia State!
We're sitting here again talking about the same things.
Well, week 11 is in the books, and with its departure, we have a whole bunch of brand new stuff. One thing we have is probably one of the greatest catches that we've seen in a lifetime. Fernando Mendoza clutches up his potential Heisman ballot. Washington is banned from the top 25 for the rest of the season. And probably the biggest news of all, Sam Houston finally won a ball game. Can we believe it? Can we not? We're going to get into it and everything else tonight here on the FBS Report with my good co-host, Mr. Red5478. Tell him what FBS stands for here.
Fucking bullshit. Just
like Garrett Nussmeier's Heisman reel, but go ahead.
Yeah, I went into this week honestly thinking, we talked about this briefly before we went live, that it was going to be kind of boring. There wasn't a lot going on. There wasn't going to be a lot of good shit that actually happened this week. But we had I think it was one of the more drama-laden weeks we've had in terms of there's plenty of games that if you have YouTube TV and you were able to sail the 7 seas to watch all the games, there was a lot of really good games on this weekend, and we're going to get into a good chunk of them. I mean, you already mentioned at the top the Indiana Penn State game. I was watching that from a indoor playground. I took my kids to a indoor playground on Saturday, and this game was on the TV, and you could just see all the dads in the playground standing up and looking at it like, did he just fucking catch that ball? Mm-hmm. What the fuck? And all the wives were just sitting on the tables like, please sit down, honey. Please sit down.
Bro was flabbergasted.
Oh, my God. My mouth dropped. My jaw literally hit the floor. But it wasn't just that. We had some other really good games. The games that we thought that were going to be good turned out to be trash. And, I mean, it was honestly quite a weekend.
Oh, so yeah.
I think, in my opinion, it was probably one of the more surprisingly entertaining games this weekend.
I thought it was sort of a slow one, and it might just be because my team was on a bye, than likely.
Shit, I didn't watch Ohio State at all. I just saw they beat the shit out of Purdue, and I was like, oh, okay,
yeah,
cool.
Just like everybody else. Big shocker.
The beatings will continue until morale improves.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have not provided anybody any sort of entertainment. You provided about one half last week when Penn State was down by however many, and then you, of course, beat them in the second half in dominating fashion.
It's good to be the king when you don't have when everyone's trying to punch up at you and you're just pushing them out like, yeah, it's okay, Junior. You tried. It's okay. Nice try. Maybe next year.
We'll see if you can keep that up when Kirk Cignetti rolls into Lucas Oil Stadium like you are. That's clutch by now, right?
Look, I'm not even gonna try to be cocky for that. I do not want to face Kirk Cignetti in the Big Ten championship game. That fucker scares me. We beat them last year, but man, my girlfriend and I, we might have to get like on a payment plan and go get a pair of tickets because she's a Hoosier fan, a diehard Hoosier fan at that. And I'm a diehard Buckeye.
Oh boy.
If I don't get the tickets, she's gonna get the tickets with my own goddamn credit card. And
good luck with that. Yeah. You're cooked there, buddy. Irvin Alvarado with the 5, much appreciated, says so. Jaguar Gator 9 is the best YouTuber in NFL history in such live ready. Akron versus ass, other words, the U and the M in the trash. We at I guess chat there suffered. Yeah, no, that's Akron versus UMass. What a ball game!
One of the games of all time.
I would say the ultimate toilet bowl, but we get to talk about that in a few minutes. Ooh!
Let's not forget what's coming up for Akron this week. We're going to jump ahead for a second here. The most important rivalry in all of sports, the fucking wagon wheel. Akron and Kent State.
Yeah. Oh, my Lord almighty. Rentgap 248 with the 5, much appreciated, says a good Veterans Day tomorrow who served, and a happy 250th birthday to the USMC. If you are drinking with a
Marines.
Marine, yeah, that's right. If you are drinking with a Marine tonight, buckle up.
Semper Fi.
All right. Yeah. Well, yeah, like I said, man, we got a lot to get through tonight. First
Yes,
off,
sir.
now that I guess, you know what? Let's just talk about the greatest game we've ever seen in history, shall we? I feel there's no better way to touch on it than this. Okay, yeah, hold on.
Yeah, I mean, we got to talk about South Dakota State and South Dakota because that game was fucking lit. I mean, oh wait, no, not that game. This game.
Yeah, no, this one first. I mean, we got to give a special congratulations to Sam Houston for winning a ball game. That has to go for something, man. To go on the road and to win your first ball game, yeah, that goes a long way. But Oregon State is just absolutely poverty this year. I mean, and it's crazy that they're 2-8 and right now the defending Pac-12 champions. Something to think about.
Still in first in the Pac-12. They got a rematch with Wazoo in a few weeks. The fucked up part about this game, honestly, it isn't the fact that Sam Houston won. We all know Oregon State is bad and that they're poverty. But even people in poverty find their way to the soup kitchen. The Beavers didn't even fucking try to find the soup kitchen. What I mean by that is this. Sam Houston did not score a touchdown except for like one touchdown on offense. And then the rest of the game, it was special teams. I think it was like a kickoff return for a touchdown, which was a do-over because of an Oregon State penalty, by the way. And they also had a punt fumble recovery that was returned for a touchdown. Jabari Johnson, he is like putrid, concentrated ass. I mean, 29-42, that's way more passes. It's like double the amount of passes he threw last week for 286 yards. Not bad. Two picks. QBR of 13.4.
Yeah, that's very important.
Again, you would have been better off spiking the ball on the ground every time.
So this is a funny story, Red, real quick. I let the chat, control which game I watch. Since we don't have or since multi-view is sometimes like there's some multi-view games, but not all of them. I let basically the highest bidder in my live stream control which game I put up on the big screen right here. And the game they had me watch was UC Davis versus Idaho for a whopping majority of the stream. And the reason I mentioned that is because the quarterback of that game for Idaho, they were down big by this point. But this quarterback for Idaho was just basically chucking up balls. And even when he had open receivers, they were heavily overthrown or they were picked off. It was like watching a Bush League quarterback go out there and try and compete with the New England Patriots. That's what it felt like to me. And watching Jabari Johnson and the experience that I got of watching him reminded me just that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, this guy is single-handedly trying to take quarterback play back to the 1890s. He's that fucking bad. It's so ridiculously. I don't know why Oregon State doesn't even try to put somebody else in there. Now, do I think he's a bad guy? No, I'm sure Jabari Johnson's a nice guy.
Yeah, that doesn't matter here.
But the fact that I have to preface this by saying, hey, I'm sure he's a nice guy should tell you everything you need to hear about just how well of a quarterback he really is. He shouldn't be an FBS. He shouldn't be an FCS. He should be playing D3 with Wilmington College for all I care.
Mm-hmm.
Golly.
Yeah, well, they're getting there. The way things are going, I mean, it's basically turning into the Mountain West again. Like it's just the Mountain West 2.0.
Yeah,
so,
and the sad part is that Alutron alludes to this in the chat. Sam Houston got their first win of the season. Mm-hmm. The run of 0-12 has died. But you know what? Don't fear, my friends.
UMass.
There is another suitor. UAS.
Yeah, good old UAS.
Go UAS. Hey, listen, UAS, I got some words for you. You win now, and you will be the most forgettable college football team of all time. Mm-hmm. But if you just lose out and lose all of your fucking games, you will become immortal. it is a rare achievement. It's rare than winning the national championship to go 0-12.
I got some words for you too. Well, actually, Dabo Sweeney has some words.
But just, to win, you got to not lose. I mean, it's just simple as that.
Prophet of our time.
One of the prophets of our time. You're absolutely
not the prophet
right.
we need, but the prophet Clemson deserves.
Damn right. Damn
Tenor
right.
Horn, appreciate the 5, says, very funny that one of the weakest teams in the Conference USA defeated the Pac-12 champion.
Yeah. No, not one of the weakest. The
weakest.
Like, I think if those two, like UMass and Sam Houston, played each other, the universe would just implode.
well, to win, you got to not lose.
Oh yeah,
I can't get it out of my head. Anyway, let's move on to the next game here.
So long as first win as a coach since 2005. Fair enough. All right, yeah, we're moving on.
Oh, that is crazy. That is absolutely insane. So more success there than at Wisconsin. All right. Anyway,
yeah.
Let's go back here. Let's go back to the noon slate. We got to talk about this game, of course.
Yes, sir.
I feel like from this from this game right here, despite their struggles, that final drive solidified Fernando Mendoza as your 2025 Heisman Trophy winner. To me, that was it's because Heismans are built in moments like that where you're down by 4. You have to get a touchdown. You have minimal time left. You're running out of timeouts. You don't have anything other than a quarterback who can clutch up and get you all the way down the field. And, obviously that catch from Omar Cooper will be looked at as one of the greatest catches we've seen. It's probably the most clutch catch I've seen since the 4th and 31 that Alabama had in Jordan Hare.
Yes.
Because Indiana would have probably made the playoffs any other way, but this at least clinches their undefeated season for the time being. 10-0, 7-0 in the Big Ten off of that catch, off of that insanely clutch drive by Mendoza. To Penn State's credit, they did a good job sort of keeping Mendoza at bay for most of the game. It was just their offense, as per the usual with Penn State, could never get the ball rolling. I mean, you can take James Franklin out of Penn State, but it's still James Franklin Penn State at the end of the day. So there's not much you can do about that.
Yes, sir. Hey, honey, you listening to this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Would you agree with any of this? Yeah, she says yes. So,
and remember to win, you got to not lose.
Yeah, remember to win, you cannot lose. Look, I am going to say this right now, and I'm not just saying this because my Hoosier girlfriend is in the same room as me right now.
Yeah, you
No, I'm not.
She got you there.
No, I'm not. I'm not just kissing her ass. I mean this with all sincerity, okay? Indiana just played national championship football against Penn State. Because here's the thing, okay? We can joke about Dabo Sweeney. In order to win, you got to not lose. I get that. And that's true. But in order to win national championships, you need to be able to overcome adversity. Adversity in any form, penalties, bad plays, defensive plays being made on your offense. Penn State was down for a good chunk of this game. Quarters 1 through 3, Indiana wasn't pulling away. Penn State was hanging around, but Indiana looked like the far superior team. Then in the third quarter, something switched. And Ethan Grunkenmeyer, the backup quarterback for Penn State, man, he just got hot. He got white hot. He started to click. Singleton, the running back for Penn State, he was fucking tearing up that Indiana defense. They didn't know what the hell hit them. It was like they got blindsided by a bus. And suddenly, just within 10 minutes, Penn State has the lead 24-20. Any other time in Indiana football history, and you could go back through the 100 years that they have existed, they would have lost at that moment. It was over. Nothing was going to come from this. Time to crumple up and die. Instead, they go 3 and out, come back on the field after their defense steps up and makes a great stop. And Mendoza just puts the team on his back. And it wasn't just the Omar Cooper catch, by the way. I saw at least 20 crazy catches being made by these Indiana wide receivers and tight ends and running backs. These guys, it was like they had fucking stick them on their gloves. You could throw the ball damn near anywhere, and they somehow were going to come down with it in bounds. And that's chemistry, that's trust, that's superior game planning, that's knowing who your opponent is, so scouting extremely well. And it culminated in Mendoza. It looked like he was going to throw it out the back of the end zone, but it turned out it was just high enough to where the defender couldn't get it, but Omar Cooper Jr. definitely could. He just chucked it up and asked his wide receiver to make a play.
And it turned
Boy,
into a
God
moment
almighty,
like
did
this.
he. That soundbite. It is the greatest catch in the history of Hoosier football. Bar fucking none. The greatest moment to date in Hoosier football. Bar none. And that is, and I know somebody in the chat's like, why he didn't score a lot of points? Why would he get the Heisman? It's not about the points. If it was all about the points, they would be just selecting the top wide receiver and the best running back just because he scored a lot of touchdowns. That's not why you win the Heisman. You win the Heisman, number one, because it's a popularity contest. Let's just not fucking beat around the bush here. It's a popularity contest, but also because the media guys see that you overcome the adversity when you're up against a tough opponent and you win. I got no problem if Mendoza beats Julian Sayin for the Heisman this season. I genuinely don't. What the fuck has Sayin showed me that Mendoza just showed me on Saturday? Not even close to that. Honestly, not even close. It's Penn State.
Like it is.
Okay, yes, it is Penn State. You want to know why they were ranked number 2 in the country coming into the season? They have all-American talent on their team. They are loaded with stars on the offense and defensive line. They had their head coach fired because their head coach could not take them to where they're going. Oh, Crimson, that's some fucking fighting words. Calling me a fake Ohio State fan. That's some fighting words.
Dang, yeah, brutal.
Oh boy. Oh, motherfucker. Listen,
anyway,
just because I'm patting Indiana on the back does not mean I'm a fake Ohio State fan. Just because Indiana had a close game with Penn State does not mean that was not a good game for them. It simply means they overcame a tough situation. 100,000 people in Happy Valley screaming in your face against Penn State, who, despite not having a good quarterback right now, loaded with talent. And they came back and they got close and they scared Indiana. But Indiana smacked them right in the mouth. That's a great win for them.
Big win. Kevin with the 5 says, to be fair, it wasn't a lock for Mendoza. I'd say BYU's Pet Bear would have been a Heisman winner. I don't know about that, buddy. I don't know about that. If we're talking about Heisman win, I mean, I think Bear is doing a pretty good job. But I don't know about that now. We were touching it. We were getting ready to switch over to this game, and what perfect timing, because this was a rough day for the Bear. We knew he'd have a tough task to unfold against the Texas Tech defense, but my goodness, he did not have a good day. Only 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 188 yards. BYU's run game was just completely non-existent. And while Tech, while they don't have, because Texas Tech this year doesn't have a world-beating offense, it's their insane defense with their Heisman level linebacker that's really helped them go the way. Jacob Rodriguez, of course, just an insane elite talent right there. There really isn't much that you can do about that. I added on another 14 tackles today or on that day. So again, ain't much you can do about that, but Bear definitely had one of his worst days today. And, now a bunch of people are jumping off of the BYU train. They were always fraudulent, now they're dead and whatnot. I mean, they're only 8-1. They only have the 1 loss in the Big 12. So as long as they win out, more than likely things will work out for them and they might see this team again in the Big 12 championship. But like I said, it's who the hell knows at this point. It's just the Big 12 is as crazy as it is, as it always is.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm going to be dead ass with you here. BYU should not be overlooked now that they got their asses whipped by Texas Tech. You got to remember one thing. Bear Bachmeier is still a freshman. He is a freshman quarterback. He has seriously overperformed this season. This was bound to happen. He was going to get his ass wrecked by somebody at some point and get a reality check. He is insanely good. Despite this performance here, he's still an insanely good quarterback. BYU needs to do everything they can to protect their player and keep him on the roster. And also, let's not forget, they lost their starting quarterback during the offseason extremely late, and here they are, 8-1, second in the Big 12. I mean, you can say, oh, they're frauds, they're fraudulent. I still think that they're playing with house money considering what they had coming into the season. You know, and I know I'm a cynical bastard. I'm sounding very optimistic about more than a few teams right now, but tonight I'm kind of feeling like I think a lot of people want to dogpile on Indiana, saying, oh, they're not that good. They were close with Penn State. Oh, God, BYU, they're not that good because Tech blew them out. Tech spent
nobody's good anymore.
$28 million was spent on Texas Tech's roster. They got the best players they could possibly buy. Their defense is absolutely 100% a brick wall. It is extremely hard to play against them for that reason alone. The only reason why I'm not that confident in Texas Tech is exactly what we mentioned, their offense. Barry Morton's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. He was injury prone. He was out for a chunk of the season this year. He just got back last week, and he played okay. But, I mean, look, 17 for 32, you're better off just shooting fish in a barrel, honestly. Like, that's not great stats for a quarterback. The rushing attack, Cameron Dickey, I mean, sure, he played well. You got to be more than a one-dimensional offense, though, if you're going to make it into the playoffs and go somewhere. It's not good enough just to make the playoffs if you spent $28 million on your goddamn roster. If you're going to spend that much money, you need to at least win one game. And if you're Texas Tech, you got to win it all at this point. There's no excuses. You're not going to get a better team than this right now. And BYU is only going to get better. That's the fucked up part about this. The Cougars, they lost on Saturday. They're only going to get better as long as they can keep Bachmeier around. He's still got at least another 3 years. So it's now or never for the Red Raiders. All the pressure is on them from here. They got 2 cupcakes the next 2 weeks, and then they got a date in Arlington at this point. So the road is clear for them. They just cannot fuck it up.
It's all a matter of whether or not they do. That's the Big 12 for you. You never really know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, next up, I feel like it was kind of a similar situation that Indiana was in, but rather than saving it off of a catch, they saved it off of a game-winning field goal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we knew that this was going to be a low-scoring brawl. Neither of these offenses have really done much of anything. Iowa, that's a given right there. Knowing Kirk Ferentz. But Oregon's offense has been significantly lackluster this year, and of course, they've lost a few key pieces that have turned it into that.
Not to mention some injuries.
Yeah, some definite big-time injuries. But yeah, the Duckies' passing game just clearly lacking. They do have a run game, and they do have a decent defense that was able to hold down Mark Gronowski throughout most of it, especially at the end there where it was most needed. Iowa finally gets a second touchdown at the end of that ball game. And we're all thinking, yep, this is GG's for the Duckies. And then once again, we get another clutch drive at the end of that ball game. That turns into a field goal. The dadgum win the whole thing. And to me, pretty much, I mean, we knew this was going to be one of those like low scoring 18-16 finals when the score of the first quarter was 2-0. And then from that point on, we were like, all right, yeah, that's how we know this is going to have to go down. So, Yeah, unfortunately, only one team could win this game, and it just so happened to be the Duckies over the Hawkeyes. And I guess that officially puts Iowa out of playoff contention. Not that there was much of a hope for that anyway, but it keeps Oregon hanging by a thread. But they've got some serious work to do over the week if they want to get an offense that'll be somewhat threatening in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I mean, look, I kind of figured Oregon was going to come in here and they were going to win, but I wanted to see more from that offense. I really did. Like Iowa, their defense is always the strongest part of that football team, and obviously the offense never that good. But the one thing that really shocked me from watching this game is late in the game, Iowa made some fucking big plays on offense. Gronowski got hot. I mean, fucking hot. He was making big, deep passes. They opened up the passing game, and suddenly the running attack became fucking alive in the elements, and then they got into the end zone. So, and then Oregon, they turned on the Jets, went into full panic and got the win. But I still you saw what Iowa could be if they had a decent offense. They could be up there amongst the others as the best of the best. But Oregon, if I'm an Oregon fan, I'm nervous if all you need to do is just play Iowa and you're only going to get held below 20 points. You scored more points against Indiana. Like, this is pathetic, quite frankly, for them. It's a Pyrrhic victory.
Right. Yeah. I mean, out of the most threatening teams that are at the top of the Big Ten race, Oregon is one that just doesn't strike me as that threatening team they used to be. Like, they went undefeated last year, and they actually had a threatening offense to go along with it. But while Dante Moore sort of started hot, he was just never able to really improve off of that. And now we're just getting this lackluster performance, it seems like, every single week. But they do hold on, surviving and thriving. That's the name of the game. And if their defense continues to play up to par like that, then maybe they got a shot. But who knows at this rate? Who knows? First off, they got to rely on Ohio State or Indiana stumbling.
That's where they are really fucked. That loss to Indiana really just kind of spelled doom for their season. They need Ohio State to lose, or they need Indiana to lose. And if Indiana loses, what the fuck's the tiebreaker at that point? Indiana would still have a win. So if they get tied with Indiana would still advance to the Big Ten championship. So really, it's just Ohio State they need to have lose. Indiana, they win their next game, they pretty much virtually lock it up. Doesn't matter what happens from there because they'll be the first one in.
Oh yeah, right. They're already a lock for the playoffs at this rate, I believe.
Well, listen, if God forbid they lose to Wisconsin and Purdue, which I don't think that's going to happen, but if they did, we've seen doomsday scenarios happen before. We've seen crazier shit happen. You know what I mean? And I'm just saying, I don't want to call it and say, okay, they're definitely in, and then something bad happens and a major injury happens and they fall off.
Yeah, but who knows at this rate? Maybe you're onto something. Who knows? Okay, if they find a way to stumble, we'll know who to blame it on. All right. Anyway, yeah. If you want to talk about dead, my goodness, how screwed is the ACC this go around? We kind of all figured this was going to happen because of the fact. I mean, we saw this with Georgia Tech, and because of the fact that they went down, we kind of all saw this coming with Virginia as well. And that's exactly what happened over this past weekend. 16-9 downfall against the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. It was a slow, methodical burn, pretty much, is what it felt like. There was only one touchdown the entire ball game, and that was from obviously Wake Forest. The rest was just them trading field goals at the high school, and obviously Wake Forest came out on top because of that touchdown. And I don't really like. Obviously, to me, I think their failure came for Virginia once Chandler Morris went down, because he's the playmaker on that team. I like Jamari Taylor, but Chandler Morris is basically the light that keeps that Virginia offense ignited. And when he went down, pretty much in my eyes, I figured that there was no way that there was going to be any way that they were going to be doing much of everything. And I was right. Because the moment he went down, Virginia's offense just went completely stagnant and vanished off of the face of the earth. And so Wake capitalized on it. They got the win there. They moved to 6-3. And unfortunately for the Cavaliers, their strength of schedule is just way too bad. Because when you're playing, Teddy Bear East and all those other soft teams every single week, you might get a lot of wins. But if you ever dare stumble, that's going to be it for you. And so with 2 losses on that soft schedule, to me, I think their playoff run is done.
Well, here's the thing. I can write off teams in the SEC a hell of a lot easier than I can write off these fuckers in the ACC, and I'll tell you why. Unfortunately, they do have a couple of solid wins. So I'm not going to start considering that they're completely out of the playoff run until we get to the final couple weeks and we see who exactly is in the hunt in the ACC. They're still tied for first in the ACC with a few other teams right now, thanks to another game we're going to talk about here in a minute. So even though they're 8-2, considering they're in a traffic jam with a few other teams right now, I'm not going to write them off from the playoff just yet. But does that mean they're going to get anywhere if they make the playoffs? Fuck no. Look, when you get a one-trick pony of a football team, the second you cut that head off of the snake, it's going to move around, it's going to wiggle, and then it's going to slowly die. When they lost Chandler Morris, that's what happened. They moved around, they wiggled, they slowly died. You take away the only thing making your ball team work, yeah, you're going to lose in embarrassing fashion to a team that got ass blasted by Florida State last week. Like, it's pathetic. And its whole game was pathetic. The only touchdown was off of a fucking punt return. Wake Forest didn't score a single offensive touchdown in this ball game. Virginia didn't score a single offensive touchdown in this ball game. They were in the red zone a few times, and then they got beaten back by the Deacs. And by the way, congrats to the Wake Forest Deacons. Bowl eligible. Despite all the bullshit they've gone through this season and all the bad losses, they are going to go bowling this December. And, I mean, that's a damn sight better than some of the teams they've lost to this season. So, I mean, I can't say I'm terribly surprised. It was a magical run for the Cavaliers, and they played, as well as they can. But one-trick ponies, they have their limits.
That's very true. First off, Wild Dog 33 with the 5, much appreciated, says, is the Chick-fil-A milkshake worth it? Thinking about getting one. Yes, 10 out of 10 times it is absolutely worth it. Get you one for sure. Thank you for the 5. Mason Cole with the 5 says, Duke can still win the ACC, and if they do, the ACC gets left out of the playoff, no doubt.
Actually, no, they cannot be left out of the playoffs. The ACC champion automatically qualifies.
Yeah, there will be at least one.
Put the American champion in over the ACC champion? Come on, man.
Well, okay, now hold on a second. They might be on to something with that one.
No, they're not. No. Could you imagine? Like, do you remember the bullshit that happened when Florida State got left out of the playoffs a couple years ago, being an undefeated conference champion? Now times that by 5. That's what you would have if the ACC got left out entirely.
Which, yeah, okay, well, let's go ahead and say this. Duke is probably not making the ACC championship because it's that, and then even though if this is not a conference game, you got this.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, this was another one that went down on the road against the UConn Huskies. They're undefeated at home, by the way. Joe Fagnano with another phenomenal game, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, over 300 yards passing through the air. He pretty much took care of business on his own in this ball game. This is a way more fun, entertaining battle than the other one that we saw, but another ACC team goes down. Duke takes their 4th loss of the season, and it's just absolutely crazy to me how we're in a scenario where the Blue Devils go on the road and lose to UConn, but then they can go on the road into Death Valley and beat Clemson. Crazy.
Yeah.
That really tells you a lot about this conference.
I know some of you guys in chat want me to yell, delete your fucking program at Duke right now, but I'm actually not going to say that. I'm going to tell you why. Look at Duke's record. Look at UConn's record. Okay? They're now 7-3. Like Squid said, undefeated at home. Duke is not the only Power 4 team they've beaten this year. Granted, Boston College is a poverty program in the ACC, but they did beat Boston College, and they beat the living hell out of them. UConn has quietly gone from being in the residue at the bottom of the barrel of shit with Akron and Kent State and UMass. And suddenly they are once again a respectable football program for the first time in about a decade, honestly. At least I'll go back to the BCS era. So this is where I'm just going to give UConn their dues and say Jim Mora has resurrected a cold, dead body that's been dead for a year and a half and turned it back to life. And that's what he has with UConn. They're like the zombies of college football. Everybody thought they were dead, and now suddenly they're selling out their home stadium like it's nothing. It's a wonderful thing to see. Now, let's flip the table around for a second. Hey, Duke, buddy, you remember that time you beat Clemson? Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it? See, you got to win your other games, too, if you want to be respected like other teams in the ACC. And I know we don't respect a lot of teams in the ACC these days because of, well, but Jesus fucking Christ, guys. I had hopes for you. We had expectations for the Blue Devils to do something, to compete for the ACC. And I guess technically you're still competing for it, but you're so, like, it's about as on paper, sure, you're there. In reality, dude, you're a million miles away from where you need to be. I didn't realize Mike Elko leaving the program for A&M was going to set Duke back 10 years to when they were shit. And I know it's not like the dark days when they were only winning 1 or 2 games a season, and they're still probably going to make a bowl game. But, man, you got Darian Mensah as your quarterback, and he's a great player. It's so fucking frustrating to see a team that I don't even cheer for fail to reach their full potential. It's a fucking disappointment. And y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
Yeah, well, as shameful as it was, they weren't the only ones. Like we mentioned, Virginia went down, but those weren't the only two. The final piece of the puzzle, the Triforce of ass, right here. We have another one that went down in the ACC, another top 15 team from the conference, the Cardinals of Louisville. Like I've been mentioning about them, even though they found a way to get ranked, they're always a team that's going to be too mid to be great and too good to be bad, to be laughed at. They're just right there in the middle of average. And this is exactly why they take a loss at home to the now bowl eligible Cal Golden Bears. And I mean, this is one of those things about leaving these teams around for as long as you go for. I mean, when you leave a team around for as long as Louisville did, eventually they're going to take some risk. And that's exactly what happened in overtime right there. Louisville's forced to kick a field goal in overtime. Cal puts all their marbles going for it at the very end of that ball game rather than taking the field goal themselves. And just as he's done several other times, Jacob DeJesus came in through the clutch for JKS, and the Golden Bears get the W over the Cardinals. Now, I will say, obviously this is a big win for Cal. But this, I mean, again, this is a team that lost 34 or 37-0 against San Diego Dadgum State. And so for Louisville to be a top 15 team and then, or supposedly top 15 team, and then go down against this team at home, I mean, it really does go to say how the ACC has just turned into this absolutely poverty conference. And remember, the same Louisville team that beat Miami, so the supposed top dog in the conference. I don't get it, man. I don't get it, because if we start doing the whole transitive property thing, I'm sure somebody in the chat's going to bet you, well, what about Florida State beating Alabama? So there's no point getting into it any further than that. But there's a golden opportunity for the Cardinals right there to sneak on in to the ACC race, behind Georgia Tech or Pitt or anybody else. Because right now, Pitt's the only one that has yet to take another stumble. And they stumbled hard early in the season, losing to West Virginia. They have to win out to get to a point where people respect them again. And, of course, we're going to talk about their upcoming battle with Notre Dame on top of everything else. But, yeah, Louisville's just another team from this conference that just lets everybody down.
Yeah, look, let me just start off by saying this. Hats off to Cal, obviously. JKS, he's been learning. This is a football team that's been trying to find itself like some hippie in a fucking Burning Man show. Like they've been trying to find themselves all season long, and they finally seem to have figured out what works for them. And they took down them alongside their brothers in mediocrity, Wake Forest, decapitated the top of the ACC in 3 hours. Because these two games, Virginia and Louisville, they were side by side. They played at the same time. They ended at about the same time. So, first, hats off to them. They were the other team to decapitate the top of the ACC. Now, Louisville. Let's just cut to the chase here. Miller Moss can't do it all. He needs to have some backup. They shut down Miller Moss. It's eerily similar to what happened with Cam Morris with Virginia. Like, they shut him down. He couldn't get fucking shit going. Louisville tried at times to get rolling yet, and it just did not materialize. And we are just another team that I didn't expect them, honestly, to do very much this season, genuinely. But, man, now that you're here, like, you got to maximize the opportunity. And I don't see them or Virginia making the ACC title game at this point. I feel like it's 2007, and we just don't know what the fuck's happening in college football. The ACC is just the 2007 of college football every single year, every week. Another two teams are at the top of the heap, and they're going to probably get knocked off too. So,
perchance, yeah, no, definitely.
If this shit keeps up, Miami could be back in the fucking conversation. Who the hell knows? Who knows?
Yeah. Dumb Gamer 22 with the 5, and I'm assuming he means the ACC here. So I'm just going to jump off of that. It said the ACC is bad, but somehow the Big 12 has a chance to be worse. Please let Houston and Texas Tech have a rematch in the Big 12 championship. Now, that statement is absolutely false. Not the Houston and Texas Tech. That is possible. But the other one, yeah, that's false. I mean, there are multiple one-loss teams that are really, really good in the Big 12. Meanwhile, the best team in the ACC is one that got prolapsed by NC State. So I don't. No. Sorry. Got to disagree with that one.
The other team had to eat shit.
Yeah, right. Arctic Phoenix 27 with the $2 super chat says Washington dumbass / clown of the week. It's definitely a good race. I'll tell you that much. I don't know what you think, Red.
I actually. There's going to be 2 dumbasses of the week for my video this week.
Yeah, I can already tell.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and spoil one of them. Oregon State, by far, one by executive order is going to be dumbass of the week because of their fucking the way they lost to Sam Houston via special teams. Are you kidding me? That's inexcusable. I'm sorry. And just Gabari Johnson, I don't want to rehash it, but you know what I mean. We talked about this.
Yeah.
You guys saw it.
Speaking of inexcusable, yeah, this is close to the worst thing that I've ever seen in my life. What the hell happened to Washington? Because this was a team that was like every other week, people were like, rank Washington. They deserve to be ranked. Why are they not ranked? Wah, SEC bias. Wah. That's all I've been hearing about Washington. And now they come in and lose to one of the worst offenses that have ever touched the field. This is Wisconsin's offense was so unbelievably awful. It was like a hate crime to put it on television. This was awful to experience, and yet somehow Washington could only manage to score a measly 10 daggum points. I mean, that's unbelievable. Jamal Williams, who I thought was one of the best, one of the top quarterbacks in this conference, just looked absolutely awful in this game. They couldn't get any sort of run game going. And much of any capacity. All of their drives were completely squandered. They ruined basically everything off of turnovers, squandered drives to Wisconsin. Again, I cannot exacerbate that enough that this is Wisconsin that you lost to. And not only did you lose to them, you lost to them when their most elite offensive weapon on this day was a punter. Their punter was the top passer in this ball game. I mean, are you serious? You lost to that? They got to take away your bowl status, man. They need to kick you out of bowl eligibility for this one. I don't care if you've got 6 wins. You just lost to Wisconsin. They got to take away your bowl status for that. And I think you'd agree with me because you don't want to go to a bowl after that. My goodness.
Look, Squid, I'm just going to cut to the chase here. It's incredible to say that Wisconsin looked worse than Purdue in a loss because at least Purdue has a solid quarterback. Wisconsin had 4 people with passing yards in this fucking ball game. Danny O'Neal.
No, they actually only had 3 people with passing yards, but they had 4 passers. Danny O'Neal was
Danny O'Neal
yards.
2 balls.
Yeah, right. All of their quarterbacks combined for a total of 6 to 18 for 48 yards. Again, their punter was the top quarterback. How does this even happen?
The punter made up approximately 50% of all passing yards. Look, I do not believe it. I genuinely, of all the random losses you could possibly see on Saturday, this takes the cake. It's right there next to Sam Houston and Oregon State. That's for damn sure. Good God Almighty! I have never seen. We gave Gabari Johnson shit for regressing the team back to the 1890s. This is the kind of football that takes football back to the 1860s. I'm talking Rutgers v. Princeton, motherfuckers. This is terrible. What the fuck is a pass with Wisconsin? They don't know, but I'll tell you this. Somehow keeping Luke Fickell around was actually a benefit. It gave the team motivation. I hear talking in the locker room. They believe in their head coach. And they genuinely love playing for the guy. That's probably the main reason why he's still on the fucking roster right now and he's still getting paid. That and the fact that they are playing the 4th toughest schedule in all the Big Ten. It's a great win for Wisconsin. It's a fluky as fuck win, but a win is a win, no matter how ugly it looks. This is a win only the mothers could love because it's that fucking ugly. And I mean, they'll happily take it. Their first FBS win against a Power 4 opponent in 11 tries. So good on you, but God damn, this is a war crime of a football game.
Quite literally.
Do not watch it again, or the Geneva Convention will come down on your ass.
Wow. But yeah, no, somehow Wisconsin's holding on by a thread to bowl eligibility. Let that one sink in too. All right.
Yeah, that alone is bad. We got to talk about one game in particular, though. I saw a couple of people alluding to it in chat, and this is because of a personal thing. We got to talk about Tulane Memphis.
That was to be expected because, well, yeah, I mean, as strange as that one was, because especially the comeback Memphis had late on in the game, this is, Memphis looked to have their spot, basically clutched up in the playoffs. And then just like every other top tier team in the G5, someone else is there to erase them from it. So now nobody knows what's going on.
Yeah. This game was absolute chaos because let's start with the actual football itself. We had these two teams coming out like a track meet. It was 35-17 at the half, Tulane leading. I mean, Jake Retzlaff looked like an absolute god at times. He was pinpoint accurate. He could not miss. 3 touchdowns through the air. He ran 1 touchdown in himself. Absolutely stellar day. Continues to, absolutely made me eat shit with me saying Tulane is out of the fucking playoffs. I mean, I ate so much crow, I was coughing up feathers. So it was an absolute glorious performance until the 4th quarter. Because Memphis, they had 2 quarterbacks in this game. Brendan Lewis has been playing hurt. Arlington Maiden came in. He looked okay, and then he got walloped. So then he got hurt. And they were trading them back and forth. I guess they didn't have a 3rd quarterback on standby to come in, nor were they going to play him. And it came down to just the last drive. Memphis had the ball. They were driving downfield. They were down by 6. Couldn't get field goal, would do nothing. And false start penalty killed them on a 4th and 3. backed them up to 4th and 8. They went deep. It failed. Tulane got a first down, ball game. This is the kind of loss that kills Memphis's whole season. They're out of the playoffs entirely now. There's no coming back from this. 2 losses in the American, with how tight of a race it is in that conference, especially with the loss they have to UAB already. Put a fork in them. They're done. But there's another reason why I need to talk about this game. I live streamed it and did commentary on Friday night, and you motherfuckers that were there were absolutely insane. It got rowdy. It got weird. My feet got brought up at one point. A couple of dudes donated hundreds of fucking dollars just to, try to get me to put my feet on OnlyFans or some shit. I don't even fucking know anymore. It was crazy, and thank you guys for joining me for that. It was a ton of fun, but it was just an absolute mess. Oh boy, where did Squid go? It was a mess in the best possible way. And I seriously cannot appreciate you guys enough for that. But we had a lot of fun doing this game. And I did tell them about the porta potty incident, by the way, Squid. Not in graphic detail, but I did tell them on the air. I have no regrets. Well,
anybody on Twitter, they knew about it.
Yeah, but no, don't worry. And I'm not going to repeat it here. I know that we're a family-friendly program.
Yes, says you. Well, on that note, the G5 race continues to be anybody's guess at this point. We threw it up in the air in my stream that it could be anybody like dadgum Kennesaw State or UConn that can make it there, but who knows at this rate. All we got to do is just watch the chaos unfold. That's the best way it can go.
Yeah, we thought San Diego State was going to be in the mix. Well, they got swept away by the Warriors, unfortunately, so they're out.
Mm-hmm.
And James Madison, if you wanted me to know right now after this loss, because Memphis was going to be the 12th seed in the playoffs, I honestly think James Madison is going to be ranked 12th on Tuesday. I'm dead serious. Yeah, but you can say North Texas because they technically lead
they're ranked now. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to think it's going to be James Madison. North Texas, they lost to South Florida. South Florida has 2 losses. That's going to drag them down.
Yeah, to me, it's either going to be South Florida or James Madison. One of the two.
No, not South Florida. North Texas, because South Florida has too many losses. North Texas.
Yes, I think they beat way better teams. So
yeah. Okay, fair.
Which one matters to them more, though? Quality win or quality loss? That's what matters.
Quality? What the fuck is that? We're talking about the playoff rankings here, not a goddamn.
You wouldn't know about quality wins, Ohio State, man. All right, let's.
Okay, motherfucker.
Let's move on here. Yeah.
How many games have you lost today, Volunteer? Have you attributed yourself enough?
Look, man. I could have 12 losses this year. You cannot break what's already been broken. I'm sorry to tell you that.
If it wasn't for your goddamn quarterback trade with UCLA, you would have 12 losses this year, motherfucker.
Could be, but that doesn't take away from your strength of schedule problems. So don't shoot the messenger, okay?
Kiss my ass.
Yeah. Anyway, Sean Pinkerton came in with the 5. Much appreciated. Says, if these 3 teams go 11-2 with their respective conference title, who would get the number 12 nod? Southern Miss, Kennesaw, or San Diego State? Probably San Diego State, because they would have the Power 5 win to bump them up a little bit further. That's my idea there.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, time for our weekly shout outs. You want to go ahead and let's go ahead and shout out these guys since I threw a stray at him. Yeah, here you go, Red. Here's your another weekly dose of beatdown. Blah 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 blah. The beatdowns will continue until suck my ass. All right.
You're just jealous. It's okay. I understand. You're just being a hater. You're an SEC hater. You're sounding like a goddamn Bulldog fan right now with how much crap you're talking at the moment, especially with how much they throw at you.
While we're on that, can you tell your fan base to stop crying about the SEC? Every time I load up Twitter and say there's a new AP poll that's out, there's about a dozen Ohio State fans that are in there like, SEC bias, SEC bias. I don't know why you guys are complaining. You're number 1. You have yet to receive a loss. And the two top teams in the nation are both Big Ten teams. Man, I'm tired of all this Big Ten bias. What's the deal with that?
Me? What the fuck? What do you mean me and my fans? Like, what the fuck? It ain't just us, bro. It's everybody. American, ACC, Big 12, Big 10, Pac-12, Conference USA. Everybody's sick of the SEC shit. But I will side with you in one event. The SEC is the strongest conference in terms of depth in college football. I won't bullshit about that. It's the strongest conference. But again, not enough respect being given to the Big Ten because who's won the last 2 national titles?
Yeah, I can tell you're very proud of that. Yeah.
I'm not proud of it because one of them happens to be my fucking rival, but I'm just stating the fact. And the SEC played horribly in the playoffs once we got past the first round last year.
Mm-hmm. Dumb Gamers 22 with the 5, much appreciated, says, how would you react if Sunbelt team James Madison University eliminated your team from the playoffs? Guessing that's a question for you, Red. My team ain't good enough for that.
Yeah, heads would roll. Coordinators would be sacked. Ryan Day wouldn't get fired because he does have that national champion, but everybody else would be immediately cleaning house. They would be cutting players like nothing. Columbus would be a fucking war zone. Grenades would be, the mandate of the day. We would have more car bombings than the IRA. Like it would be terrible.
Great.
Yeah, it would be bad. Everyone would be livid if James Madison got one over on Ohio State.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, anyway, with all that being said, shout out to another undefeated, the A&M Aggies. Guess what? This is a big, big occasion for them because now it is official. The curse has officially been broken. Yeah. No longer is 8-4 going to paralyze this poor team. They're now 9-0, and the worst they can do at this point is 9-4. So take that with some happiness without the rest of the way. Yeah, Missouri is. Speaking of Missouri, yeah, they haven't gotten any sort of luck ever since their first 2 quarterbacks went down because Matt Zollers ain't got it.
A moment of silence for another dead meme.
You present, but you ain't really there.
All right, that's enough.
But just, to win, you got to not lose. I mean, it's just simple as that.
Good on A&M for helping my video begin to age like fucking curdled milk on A&M I made 2 months ago. But let's be real here. That video isn't going to truly be aged poorly until A&M wins a national title, which that's still not going to fucking happen. And I'll tell you why. Their defense is not there. It's just simply not good enough to withstand the onslaught of a bunch of playoff games in a row. They can make the playoffs and they could win maybe a game or two, but I don't think they're going to win a national title. They're getting close, though. They're getting close.
As close as anybody else is in the SEC, I'll say that for sure.
Oh, dude, they're the only undefeated SEC team left.
And who would have ever thought?
Right? Like Alabama's right on their ass, but they can't jump them because they haven't lost. And they're not going to lose unless, little brother just fucking shoves a horn up their ass in Austin in a few weeks. Which could you imagine the fucking copium if A&M lost to Texas in Austin for the second year?
That would be an ouchie. That would be an ouchie.
The undefeated season, lose the SEC title, and because of my God, that would keep Austin warm for 10 winters easily.
Yep. Well, here's another shout out for you. Shout out to the Garrett Nussmeier fan club. You're pulling a lot of weight right now. I can tell you that much. I think you're pulling too much weight. You might just need to let it go. It ain't healthy anymore at this point. Alabama beats up on LSU 20-9. The Tiger offense is just completely missing from action. Yeah, Nussmeier's just he ain't got it. It just in no capacity at all. The offense just looks dead, sort of floating in the air. Some people actually thought that LSU was going to get a whole lot better after Burger King was fired, but there was just so much damage within that program. And on top of that, it made it look like the dadgum state governor was the one coaching this game.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't bring that dumbass up. My God. Look, we all knew LSU was cooked. There's a lot more wrong with LSU, and I got a video I'm going to be making very soon about LSU. There's a lot more wrong with LSU besides what Brian Kelly brought in. It's been a slow burning tire fire for the better part of the last 4 years, since at least the pandemic. So none of this surprises me. It doesn't surprise me that Nussmeier is continuing to regress because their offensive line is fucking awful. They worked them way too hard in the spring, did not do enough rest, and Nussmeier's just been getting his ass kicked. And, I mean, they don't have a rushing attack. They don't have a passing attack. They don't have a fucking offense. And it's really just – it's sad. It's just sad. I almost pity them.
I don't. They're the dumbasses who hired Brian Kelly in the first place. This is exactly what they deserve. Womp womp. That's all I can tell you. In all seriousness, though, I mean, for the diehard LSU fans, this does suck. I don't think many of them even wanted Brian Kelly in the first place, but hey, it's over now. It's over. Now you're gonna get a new guy. Might end up being Billy Napier. We'll see.
Does LSU have a chance to miss a bowl game still?
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, they're 5-4, so they can lose out, but
oh my God,
very highly doubt it. Well, we'll see. Who knows?
I mean, they'll get at least one win against their FCS
Stranger
cupcake
things have happened.
But still.
Yeah. Speaking of cupcake, yeah. Shout out to Ole Miss.
Why are we talking about this game?
That's all.
Why did we bring up Ole Miss whipping the Citadel's ass pillar to post?
Because it is to make a point, more or less.
What's the point that you were trying to make?
That nobody should be playing these types of games in November.
Fair. Very fair. Well, guess what? It's got Stanford. Not Stanford. Sanford next week.
Wow. Incredible.
I know. Although
who would have seen this coming? Another cupcake. Notre Dame beats the absolute crap out of Navy, just like they did the year previous.
Wait a minute. Navy's not really a cupcake. They were number one.
To Notre Dame, it's a cupcake because we go through this story every year, man. It's the same thing. Navy gets this record. This literally happened last year. Navy gets this really high record. People are like, oh, they might have a shot against Notre Dame. And then Notre Dame comes in and absolutely wipes them off the face of the earth. And that's exactly what happened here. Now, it does them no luck that Navy was down a quarterback. That did them no favors.
No.
Their offense just sort of completely malfunctioned past that point, but get good. Don't know what else to tell you.
I mean, you can only expect so much from the Naval Academy. I mean, at the end of the day, the football is secondary to what their ultimate mission is, which is to serve the country. So we got to keep that in mind. I don't rail on those military schools that hard for that reason alone, because they got more important things to do than play football, but they're still playing football and at a high level. And you got to give your hat to Navy here. I mean, they did the best they could. They're not going to be a playoff team. This loss will pretty much keep them out of that. But I mean, if they win the American, that'll guarantee James Madison gets in, right?
Yeah, that's true. That might be a good point. Yeah. Anyway, shout out to somehow managing to pull out the clutch bone at the end there. Vandy, the Commodores. This was a great game, by the way. You would never have expected it from Auburn of all teams, but they did. They put up a hell of a fight here. Ashton Daniels actually had a great game. 300-something yards, 2 touchdowns. He had a great day. Diego Pavia also, as in most of his games, he had a great day too, over almost 500 yards of offense and 4 touchdowns. So, I mean, a great day by him. Capitalized by that final drive and overtime. Let me tell you, Auburn is just no luck when it comes to the clutch bone. They can get there to the point that they compete with all these teams, but whenever it comes time to where the rubber meets the road, every single time they find a way to do this and crumble and fall apart and die. I don't get it. And it's clearly it's not a Hugh Freeze thing because Freeze is gone, but the clutch bone sure is too. So I can't figure it out.
I mean, it goes back to the, like what we were talking about with LSU and Brian Kelly. It's a lot more than just, one man. I mean, Hugh Freeze by far, honestly, was a better coach than Brian Kelly, if you ask me, because he tried with his players to meet them at their level and to be there at their level and to not just be CEO of Brian Kelly LLC. Like he put his best effort in there.
Yeah.
He had a lot of bad luck. Like he had Bo Nix for a cup of coffee and then he got hurt and then he just could never find the right quarterback to get his way through. And just because he's fired doesn't mean it's going to change anything. Auburn, they believed in their coach. The players did at least. And this is kind of what happens. It just nothing good usually comes. And we saw some teams resurge a little bit when they lost their head coaches. Oregon State got a win somehow, 2 wins actually. Virginia Tech won a game right after they fired their coach. Florida played extremely close with Georgia after they fired Billy Napier. So like it's so some people were thinking that Auburn could come out and actually win the game, and they damn near did too. They damn near did, but Vandy they're just better. They're just better. And again, apologies to the Vanderbilt fans. I wrote them off after their second loss of the season, thinking there's no way they're making the playoffs after that. I did not anticipate that their ranking would still be very favorable because they're right there in the mix with everybody else. They just need a few teams to lose, which it's very possible. Very, very possible they'll find a way back.
Very possible. Dumb Gamers 22, appreciate the 5, buddy. Says, never call Red an Ohio State fan. The majority of us are from Texas. And that's about the reaction I expected.
Just because a lot of you guys are from Texas does not mean you need to. I shouldn't be an Ohio State fan, okay? Texas is a big state, and a lot of you crazy fuckers like to listen to my shit. Not my fault. You got nothing better to do.
No. Or so you say.
Thank you, Dumb Gamers, for the 5. Always appreciate you, buddy.
Well, a couple more shout outs before we go ahead and get into our next week of games here. Shout out to the Mountain Climbers of West Virginia. They get their second Big 12 win off of a home dub versus Colorado. Colorado started Julian Lewis in this game because they knew that their season was a wash. And while he got some good training experience, that's all he got because they wound up coming up short in the end, which means that the Buffs are officially eliminated from bowl eligibility. So tough break for the Deion Sanders and company. And I got to play it now because I mentioned him. Hold on. Where is it? Where is it? There it is.
But you ain't really there.
And no, he wasn't.
Oh, Gamers, I misread your message. You never call a Red5478 fan an Ohio State fan. Got it. My bad. Misspoke.
My bad. I'm the dumbass.
Well, just to be clear, yeah, I kind of already figured that out because I've only covered Ohio State in depth like twice this year. Once in a video trashing them over John Cooper, and then the Ohio State Texas game. That's it. I have about as diverse of a fucking football audience. I got more Michigan fans on my Discord server than I do Buckeye fans. By the way, thanks for that. And by the way, thanks to Colorado for allowing me to say that they got fucked harder than when Mountaineers fucked their cousins because they got their asses whipped in this fucking goddamn.
As if the Mountaineer Nation didn't hate you enough.
They absolutely hate me, and I don't care, man. They absolutely beat the shit out of them.
Got to be one fan base that does that. Think about how Nebraska fans feel about me. Yeah.
Listen, blame the old men that watched my West Virginia video when it came out 2 years ago. Red, sir, that was bad. Hey, listen, I'm not the only one that makes those jokes about West Virginia. Okay, let's just be honest here.
Truth be told. All right, well, now time to laugh at another team. Shout out to the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers. Looked like they might have fallen off throughout the rest of the season, but thanks to the month of November, Maryland loses another dadgum game. They now got 5 straight losses, and it's looking like we're very much seeing the end of the Mike Locksley era. It hasn't officially come to terms yet, but I feel like eventually, whether it's now or at the end of November, I feel like the end of the Locksley era is coming. By the way, look at the dog.
This is Chief. This is my golden retriever.
Oh,
he is the best boy.
And he's not camera shy.
He is not shy at all. He loves people, actually. Everybody say hi to the dog.
Hi, dog.
Yes. Hello, dog. All right, go lay down. You're done. No, go to bed.
No more TV time.
No more. You got to stop pissing in the cat box if you want that. Knock it off.
You're present, but you ain't really there.
Yeah. All dog, no thoughts.
Yeah. Anyway, a couple of quick more shout outs. North Carolina won 20-15 over Stanford. The Trees are now officially eliminated from bowl eligibility off of this loss. So tough break for Stanford. But the Fighting Jordan Hudson's wives, that's what now? They're 4-5.
Mm-hmm.
Good job. A couple of other teams bowl eligible now. Iowa State finally got rid of their losing streak. They've been losing a bunch now. They finally clutched up on the road at TCU off of a field goal. They won 20-17, and Iowa State is now bowl eligible. Same goes for Arizona. Beat up on Kansas. Kansas is one game away, but they better get it figured out soon. That's all I can really say about that. Other teams that are joining the race. Coastal Carolina, bowl eligible now. Congratulations to Coastal. Nebraska was already bowl eligible, but now they've got a 7th win, and they're now 7-3 on the season after beating UCLA on the road late at night. Latif had his official first debut after, of course, Dylan Raiola went down, and he looked pretty good doing it. So shout out to him. And then, oh boy, there's a certain point to where you begin to feel bad, maybe somewhat, maybe, I don't know. I doubt it. I can't. I can never get myself any sort of pity for this program, especially since I know there's somehow because DJ Lagway looked about as bad as he did against LSU in this game. And that's really saying something, but I know that his dumb ass is going to come out and play like primetime dadgum Tim Tebow when he battles against Tennessee in 2 weeks. So yeah, go ahead and get all the trash out of the way first, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, this is terrible.
38-7 to Kentucky. Wow, that might be the worst loss of the week.
I mean, honestly, yeah, you could put it right up there with the Wisconsin win, with the Sam Houston State win as like one of the most weird wins you see. This is Kentucky's biggest win over Florida since 1950. 1950 was the last time Kentucky beat Florida by 31 or more.
Good old DJ wrong way.
Good Lord Almighty. It was a blowout.
You gotta love it. And then, of course, we do have to talk about the other one too. This is the game most of it I streamed while I was, live Saturday night. FSU Clemson. Most boring 14-point win I've ever seen in my life. It's good for Clemson to finally get the jump on somebody. Obviously, they've had a very, very rough year, and they've already got 5 losses on the season. This is the worst season Clemson has had since Dabo's debut there. It could potentially get worse. They've still got to win 2 more games if they even want to get to bowl eligibility. I mean, this was a game to where it feels like basically whichever coach loses this game is probably very, very close to being done. That's what it felt like when like looking at Auburn and Kentucky when those 2 teams played. Obviously, like now Mike Norvell hasn't gotten fired yet, but I feel like now that's what's getting ready to happen at some point in time. We could talk about the buyout, but if Florida State's desperate enough, they will absolutely do it because the excuses I hear about Florida State not firing Norvell were the same ones that I heard about LSU before they canned off Kelly. So just saying, if they absolutely have to, they will.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I mean, there's not much else I can really say here, but I will give the Clemson fans some shit for storming the field after beating lowly Florida State. God damn. I got to stand up for that.
Well, they stormed the field after every loss, too. Don't forget that. They stormed the field in every scenario. All right, well, while Red is taking his break, I would like to give just a soft moment of silence for an unfortunate victim of this week. And this one hurts, okay? This one really, really hurts. It stung me quite a lot, I will say. I was pressed up about it for the entire week. UTEP takes their 7th loss of the year to Jacksonville State, which now has just brought upon Jeremy Dadgum Pruitt on their coaching staff as an analyst, by the way. Chick-fil-A Pruitt now officially hired by Jacksonville State. Congratulations there. But they take out UTEP on the road. My Miners now down to 2-7 and eliminated from bowl eligibility. Dadgummit. Tough break for the UTEP Miners. Yeah. No love there for UTEP. Yeah, I did a UTEP dynasty. That's part of the reason why I've got a soft spot for UTEP, but I've always liked UTEP. They can never give me the same love in return.
Those
because
poor
this is
Miners.
exactly what they do.
Okay,
Yeah, see,
fine.
I knew that's where they were going. All right. One more game, and then we'll move on to the next week because I've seen several people talking about this, and I probably won't cover it in the recap, so I best give it the love it deserves here because what a game this was. Louisiana Tech and Delaware battled it out, and it was under the radar for a variety of reasons, but this was a phenomenal battle. And, of course, the result that came out of it was that Delaware won 25-24, and they're 5-4. It doesn't matter if they win out the rest of their games. They can't have bowl eligibility because it's their first season in the conference. They don't get the same luxury of James Madison. But we love you in our hearts, and that's what matters.
Indeed. Michigan Light forever in our hearts.
Okay. Yeah.
Enough
of that.
What do you mean enough of that? They still look like Michigan Light.
No, I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, you're definitely not wrong there, but
and they're not having a bad season though. They're having a really good start.
Yeah.
Bowl.
Yeah,
now they do have a chance to bowl if there's no other teams that make it and they have like open spots, like what happened with James Madison a couple years ago.
But I think at this point that's probably not happening.
Yeah, we'll see.
There's a lot of teams that are already bowl eligible as is. All right, well let's go ahead and get into week 12. And what better place to start out with than the absolute toilet wheel of tomorrow? That's what I'm calling it because it's literally the toilet wheel of tomorrow because they play tomorrow at 7:30. Kent State and Akron. Red, I know you wanted to cover this one, so just tell me who you got winning.
Akron is going to three-peat for the wagon wheel. Their win against UMass last week is all I really need to see. Ben Finley has finally kind of taken all of that rage and suppression he's dealt with 6 years in college football, by the way. And I think the Zips three-peated and they win the wagon wheel. They also got home field advantage too, which is actually important for a game like this in the rivalry series. So, yeah, give me the Zips. Zippity-doo-dah away with the wagon wheel again. Kent State, just still shit. Still very much shit. Yeah, I know way too much about this goddamn team. Fuck me.
Well, okay. No, but I will. I'll take your word on the Zips. I'll stick with them. I'll stick with Akron. Maybe they got something. Maybe they don't. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Someone just mentioned this in chat. Kent State has to travel a whopping 12 miles.
Ooh, that's a long distance.
Yeah. Well, it's not even just because of that. Like Kent State would play better at home if it was in Kent State, but I mean, just
no doubt. If they don't show up to that game, the coaches should make them walk all the way back to
your asses are walking home.
That's what I would do in that situation. All right. Moving over to Friday's primetime game. This one at 9:00 Eastern on Fox. Minnesota now bowl eligible off of a bye week, going on the road to Autzen Stadium, quite a bits away from home to face off against the Duckies. Oregon is a whopping 24.5-point favorite in this one, and I don't care which team you're taking. If you're a bet man and you lay the points on Oregon, you're absolutely brain dead. That's all I can really say about that. But I've got Oregon at least winning the game.
Give me the Gophers. I'm not trolling. Give me the Gophers. Give me the fucking Gophers. Listen. If there's one thing that we saw last week when Oregon played Iowa, it's that they're gonna fucking struggle at times against what appears to be a lackluster opponent. Minnesota's defense is sneaky good. They can creep up on you. If you don't game plan right, if you're not paying attention, they'll fucking get you. All right.
I don't know, man.
They did shut the fuck up about Nebraska. They did shut out Nebraska. They beat the piss out of them earlier this season.
That is true. Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know, man.
If they're playing white hot, man, and they got all the momentum, dude, anything can happen when you play Ski Ma. So give me the fucking Gophers. I want to see some fucking chaos. I want to see Oregon finally kind of separate themselves from the pack in the worst way possible here.
I don't know, man. To me, it's one thing when Nebraska finally reaches bowl eligibility. It's another thing when A&M finally gets past 8-4. But to me, it's just so far beyond to see Minnesota get past that 7-win quota. And while they wouldn't do it in this game, they would probably do it in the next 2 games under that idea. Maybe they don't. I don't know.
Remember, who's got the stronger memes here, Minnesota or Oregon?
I don't know. That's a good question there. There are a lot of memes. There are a lot of memes with both. Minnesota. Okay. Anyway, let's move on to the next game here.
Damn it.
Yeah, we might as well just go ahead and cover this one because this, out of all the noon games, out of all the more interesting games that come on right at Saturday, this is probably the best one. Easily the best one, I think. 12 o'clock p.m., so noon Eastern on ABC, Notre Dame and Pitt, both 7-2, both ranked in the top 25. The Fighting Irish ranked in the top 10. 7 straight wins for Notre Dame. Pitt not that far behind. Both of these teams are red hot, although Notre Dame clearly favored a whole lot more. 12.5-point favorites in this one. This is a very tough one for me to say because I think Mason Hine-Snell has come in to this Pittsburgh offense and has run it exactly like they've run it exactly like Pat Narduzzi has wanted it to run. Now, here's the thing about this game, and this is the thing that has me thinking that things aren't going to go their way. Pat Narduzzi's dumbass comes out about 5 hours ago, my time, and says that he was in a press conference and he was talking about whether or not the Notre Dame game is a must-win game, and he says, and I quote, "Absolutely not. It is not an ACC game." I'm glad you brought that up. It's not an ACC game. I'd gladly get beat 103 or 110-0 in that game. They could put up 100 on us, and as long as we win the next 2 after that, is what he said. Yeah, so give me Notre Dame. Obviously, does not care enough about this game, unless if that's a farce, or if he was just lying for funsies, but I very highly doubt that's the case. I don't know what he was doing or was saying when he said that, but
I think he's Notre Dame for that. Honestly, trying to downplay it a little bit because he knows it's a big game. He knows the stakes are on the line here. I mean, no, it's not an ACC matchup. He's absolutely right about that. So in terms of conference races, it's not going to change a damn thing, win or lose. But in terms of national prominence and actually making a case to make yourself a playoff contender, it's a huge fucking game. You know, you're on the national stage, ABC, high noon. You're going to have Fowler and Herbstreit in the booth calling the game instead of them in some godforsaken SEC game this weekend against the fucking Southeastern Toilet Bowl Louisiana Tech. So, look, give me Pittsburgh. And the reason why I say this is because Notre Dame's offense has begun to kind of cool off a little bit. They struggled pretty bad against Boston College the other week. I was not impressed. They can go and beat up Navy because it's fucking Navy. Okay? That we pay taxes, we all die. Notre Dame beats Navy. It's written in the stars. Mm-hmm. Pittsburgh is another subject, and it's in Acrisure Stadium, which I know it's not Pitt Stadium. It's not a true home field. But you get about 50,000 screaming Yinzers watching a college football game. Don't tell me that's an intimidating environment. Give me Pitt. Heinschel's a great quarterback. He's been seriously impressive this season since he came in. And ever since he started playing for Pitt, I mean, they've been unstoppable almost. So, shit, give me the goddamn Yinzers. I don't know why, but fuck it.
Oh, boy, wouldn't that be entertaining? Yeah, I'm siding with Pitt here. And just as I would like to see Pitt win. But I don't know. My gut's telling me that's going to be Notre Dame, especially after Narduzzi's comments. But
I mean, we'll see.
Pat Nard dummy. All right. Well, anyway, Let's move on to our 3:30 game, the best of obviously all the 3:30 games. Once again on ABC, 3:30, number 12, Oklahoma, coming on the road against number 4, Alabama. They've had a week to rest up to face off against this team, but they got to go on the road into Tuscaloosa to pull it off. Alabama is a 6.5-point favorite. They are undefeated in the SEC with no signs of stopping. It's going to be a very, very tough battle. Red, what you got? Who do you think's going to win?
Give me Bama. I don't think it'll be that tough. Oklahoma's kind of on their last legs. They're not going to survive this one. They got way too much going against them. They've kind of recovered a little bit. They did beat Tennessee the other week, so I mean, there's that. But I don't have very many nice things to say about Oklahoma. Alabama's biggest flaw is that they really don't have much of a rushing attack, which can be a bit of a problem if you're trying to not be one-dimensional. But Ty Simpson's going to absolutely steamroll the Sooners. Sorry, Akbar, if you're watching this. It's going to be a bad day in Norman. Or actually, they're actually not in Norman this year. Not to mention, Alabama did lose to Oklahoma last year, which kind of knocked them out of the playoffs. They kind of want some revenge, I think, for what they did. Yeah, it's not going to be pretty.
Who knows? Perchance. Who knows at this point? Yeah. All right. But yeah, no, that's your big game for 3:30. I think, but if I had to choose a winner, I'd also say it's Alabama. I think Oklahoma could potentially make things interesting if their defense holds down Ty Simpson. I just don't think they're going to do good enough of a job of doing so to make John Mateer carry the way. I just don't see it happening.
It's going to be a nationally televised slaughter, I feel like.
Ooh, here's a nationally televised slaughter, and I'll tell you what, Red. I'll tell you, look, I rag on you. I rag on Ohio State all the time, but this is a week where I need you to come in the clutch for me, okay? This is a week where I need you to come in the clutch for me. 7:30 p.m. my time on NBC, November 15th, UCLA, the Bruins, 3-6. All they need is one more loss and they're out of a bowl. More specifically, Nico is out of a bowl on the road, going back to Columbus to face off against undefeated number 1 Ohio State. I mean, you can't draw this up any better, at least from my perspective. Red, how bad is this going to be?
How bad was the eruption of Krakatoa for the world? Like, how bad was the eruption of Pompeii for the Pompeii citizens? When the meteor hit the dinosaurs, how much did that ruin their day? It's going to be that bad. It's going to be that fucking bad. It's going to be a slaughter. I mean, absolute domination. This is going to be going beyond the beatings will continue until morale improves. There is just going to be beating. There is just going to be a beating. There is no morale to improve with UCLA. It is going to be slaughter. Buckeyes by 40.
All righty then. Well, you heard it. You heard it from Red. You heard it from Red.
Lose my shit.
Yeah, and rightfully so. I think, I don't think there's any argument for that. I'll tell you that much. Okay, here we go. The prime game on 7:30 is, as we would have expected, another SEC brawl. This one's very, very important for a variety of reasons. ABC, 7:30, number 11, Texas. Well, number 10 in the AP poll, tied with Oklahoma. 7-2, 4-1 in the SEC. Going into Athens to face off against the Georgia Bulldogs, the good old Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. The Magic Kingdom, 8-1 now, following an actual beatdown of an SEC team, believe it or not. They beat down Mississippi State as they were supposed to. Did not need to come from behind victory to win on the road in Stark Vegas. But yeah, they are 8-1, 6-1 in the SEC. They are 6.5-point favorites at home against this Longhorn team. And they've also got the last 2 wins over them. Texas is 0-2 as an SEC opponent against Georgia. So, Red, tell me who you think's going to win.
Dogs, sick 'em. I'm sorry, you don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. Georgia has been down how many times against a couple of teams this season? They've been in dogfights, pun unintended, with Tennessee, with Ole Miss, and what happens? Come out and they win. The only loss they have this season is against Alabama, and that was after a little bit of a dogfight, but Alabama just kind of dominated. Texas is not good enough to beat Georgia. They're just not. There's way too much green in these players that they have. Arch Manning has improved. He's finally taken some steps, and he's doing better. But, I mean, this is the SEC championship rematch, man. You know what I mean? Where's this game being played at? It's in
Athens.
Georgia? Yeah.
Correct.
I mean, you're going in between the hedges in Athens, Georgia. And I know like everyone wants to, kiss Manning's ass and say, oh, he's great. Gunnar Stockton is infinitely better of a quarterback than Archie Manning. So, like, give me Texas or give me Georgia. Like, Texas is they need some seasoning. They need another year to rebuild before they can actually be true contenders for the SEC again. It just isn't their year. Georgia's just too fucking good, man. They're just too good.
Yeah, see, if I were the Texas man right now, whether you're a fan or a part of the team, I would just run away and hide and just go into hiding for the entire rest of the week. I wouldn't even show up on Saturday if I were you. Gunnar Stockton has 15 touchdowns on the season. Make that 30 after this game. He's going to have 15 touchdowns in that game alone. He's going to have at least 4,000 yards. I just don't see any way Texas can even not just win but compete. Yeah. This game's going to be over in the first minute of the ball game. Arch Manning, he might have 12 interceptions by the end of the second half. I mean, this is going to be such a bad beatdown that they're going to have to turn off the broadcast for this game and switch it to the CW by halftime. That's how bad it's going to be. Georgia's going to absolutely obliterate Texas. They're not even going to be close. They're the best team of all time in the history of history. They've never lost a game in the history of history, and it's going to continue in this game against the Longhorns. Horns down. There's no way. Horns down. There's just no possible way that Texas could ever even come close to winning this game.
Are you trying to like reverse jinx Georgia right now?
No. You see him. When has Georgia ever lost a game? Ever in the history of history?
When they played Alabama.
Wait, I never saw it.
Oh my God! This guy, guys, send more milkshakes. He's clearly running low.
Yeah, while we're closing things out here, if you guys do want us to cover another one of these games for this week, drop us a super chat or something to let us know. In the meantime, we're gonna cover one that I really, really wanted to cover. Oh my goodness! Hey, right, okay, now listen here. So we covered some big time SEC games. All right, we covered some big ones. Covered some big Big Ten games. But in my mind, and I'm sure you can agree with me on this, there is no game this week bigger than the one that I'm about to put up here on the screen. In my mind, there's no game that is bigger than this one right here. November 15th, Saturday, 3:30 p.m., probably on the Big Ten Network, I imagine. I'd certainly hope they'd keep it there. That way, not many people have to watch it. But we have 0-6 in the conference, Penn State versus 0-6 in the conference, Michigan State. It is a battle of the Titans right here at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Both of these teams 3-6 on the season, winless in the conference, searching for their first Big Ten win. And the one that doesn't is still going to be winless in the conference and be eliminated from bowl eligibility. Oh, my goodness. And Red, knowing that both of these two teams right here are teams that you have a specific amount of hatred for, I'd love to hear your take. Penn State is still coming into this ball game as a 7.5-point favorite. What do you think is going to happen here? Gruckmeyer versus Aiden Shiles, a battle of the quarterback titans. Just tell me your thoughts. Just let me hear it.
We have traumatized lion versus confused cosplayer. That's what the battle is before us, ladies and gentlemen. Traumatized lion versus confused cosplayer. Neither of them are built for this. Neither of them want to be built for this. Neither of them can handle this. Therefore, I do declare that Sparty does the funniest fucking thing and eliminates Penn State from bowl season, because this is it's in East Lansing, so they got the home field advantage there. However 10 people show up, it's still home field advantage. If it was in Happy Valley, I'd say Penn State has a pretty good shot, but Penn State's been, I mean, they lost to UCLA in a half-empty Rose Bowl, for God's sake. They're going to lose to Sparty in a half-empty fucking Spartan Stadium. It is. I know. I don't need to break it down statistically why Penn State's going to lose. They're just going to lose. That's all you need to know. Trust me. I am a Big Ten football fan. I know what I'm talking about. And unlike somebody who will kiss their rival's ass to try and jinx them in order to fuck them over in a season, I will gladly say fuck both these teams, but Sparty wins.
Yeah, it's crazy. Imagine wanting your rival to lose.
Yeah, Squid. You wouldn't know, apparently.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. By the way, is Michigan playing this week?
No. I don't know, actually. It's a great question.
Yeah. Do you think? I think the bye week's got a pretty good shot of losing that game. What do you think?
I think the bye week is going to win that one 60-55. It'll be close.
Yeah. See, the moment you went wrong there is saying Michigan scores 55.
Oh, you know what? You got a good point. You got a very good point.
That's where you went wrong. See, I can throw strays at your enemies too. I don't have to glaze your worst enemies just for the sake of the show.
Well, since you glazed Georgia like a fucking donut, Zepp and I have a challenge for you. Red, mark this down.
Yeah,
if Georgia wins, Squid has to buy Georgia merch after that attempt to jinx.
That's too bad. That ain't happening.
Really?
That's too bad. Every bet I've ever made when it comes to sports, I've lost. So no, not doing it. Not doing it. Unless if there's something good that happens either way, that I'm not doing it.
Well, fuck. All right.
It's got to be like, if I win, I get $1 million. If I lose, I get a girlfriend. Otherwise,
Wait, buddy. Those things are impossible either way.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's that. You got to get the point. Oh my goodness, Dabo, tell him.
But just, to win, you got to not lose. I mean, it's just simple as that.
Zap just found the Michigan game.
But Michigan is going up against Northwestern this week. So tell me why Northwestern is losing.
They're not losing.
And there we go.
I refuse to believe that Michigan is a superior team in any way, shape, or form. Michigan's not winning that game.
Yeah, right.
Northwestern beat Penn State. That means something.
Dude, everybody beat Penn State. What does that mean?
They kept it kind of close with Oregon.
No. So did Wisconsin. What's that supposed to mean?
I mean, something. You tell me what it means.
You cannot. I guess now we're trying to say that Penn State's a quality win or something because Ohio State stuck with them for the half. Is that what we're doing now? Because that's come on. Even you can't admit.
Okay. I concede the point. I want Michigan to lose, but in reality, it's going to be difficult for them to lose to Northwestern. But who knows? Any given Saturday.
It is. You are right. It is any given Saturday. I mean, who knows? Wisconsin's facing Indiana this week. Who knows? South Florida and Navy are battling it out, by the way. 2 7-2 teams in the G5 or G6.
Yeah, that'll be really good, actually. That'll be a really good. That'll really clear up, I think, some of the picture in the American for sure, or make it a complete fucking dumpster fire if South Florida beats Navy.
One thing here's what I want to see. Okay, so One game that I do think is pretty interesting, and it doesn't have a spread. It's at 1:30 on the SEC Network Plus. You can't even watch it on regular television. You got to get ESPN Plus for it. But Kentucky, the Wildcats are 4-5. Okay, they beat down Florida. They've got Tennessee Tech coming to town, and Tennessee Tech. But the reason that's important, Tennessee Tech is undefeated. They haven't lost a game yet.
No.
Yeah, it's true. Tennessee Tech is 10-0. They are 10-0. Same record as Indiana.
They couldn't play a fucking slack jack off team.
And they have the chance to do the absolute funniest thing ever. They have the opportunity to do what I would consider the funniest thing ever.
God damn, you couldn't play Dayton. You couldn't play the fucking Dayton Flyers of all teams, at least. Somebody that was guaranteed to be shit. You had to pick Tennessee Tech. God damn it.
Well, at least they didn't pick the St. Peter's Peacocks.
That was good. That was a good one. That was a fucking good one. My God.
Good luck.
Well done.
Sometimes I hit a one-liner every so often. We play New Mexico State, by the way. So for those of you who are curious, I will be live actually twice on Saturday. I'm going to be doing a members only stream for I guess we haven't done an official poll on it yet, but most people in my chat said it's going to be the night game, so it's probably going to be for Texas, Georgia. I imagine it's either going to be that or it's going to be the noon game with Pitt and Notre Dame.
Yeah, I want to stream Saturday, but I don't know if I'll be able to. I'll probably catch one of the games Friday night instead because I'm going to be a wee bit busy on Saturday, like I was last Saturday. So who knows? I'm going to have another little bit of Friday night fun. I might catch Minnesota, Oregon or something. That sounds like it's going to be an interesting game, if nothing else.
Could be. Much appreciated, Aaron Doty, parentheses, King D 98, great year. With the $10 super sticker. Thank you.
Aaron Doty, well done.
Well done.
All right. We haven't gotten any more suggestions, so I think I'm good. What you got coming up, bud? You got anything else working besides your usual shit?
About the recap, and that's about it. If I get the time, I'm actually going to start posting over on the main channel again. It's been such a hectic time period in my life, man, but I'm gonna get it. Well, one thing is I'm gonna have to get it together regardless because the end of the semester is coming up, and now I've got to focus on adjusting to the real world. Whoop-de-doo!
Yeah, congratulations. You get to join us in the misery of adulthood. Yeah. Real adulthood. It's not all milkshakes in college football, buddy.
Well, it's going to be milkshakes. We'll get some college football every now and then. We'll see. But yeah, you guys are phenomenal people. Appreciate y'all for watching. Red, what you got going on this week?
So I will stream probably Friday night one of the games that we have coming up this week. Obviously, Week 11 chaos. It's under development. I should have it out on my Patreon.
Wait. It's under what? It's under what?
God.
It's under what?
God. It's under
development.
You got me, you piece of shit. You fucking got me. No, it is under production. Week 11 chaos, and I'm trying to get a goddamn video out about LSU as well, but with all my attention kind of focused on week to week recaps, it's kind of difficult to get anything else done. But rest assured, once the regular season ends, I'm going to be so ready to do my long form projects again. You have no fucking idea. I'm going to go I might end up like pulling off something like an hour long video about Wisconsin in 2 weeks again. I don't fucking know. Like, it's going to be crazy. But yeah, that's what I'm cooking with.
All right, bet. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to everything that's happening. I've got some coaching videos on the way as well. I bet you guys have been waiting very patiently for the experience videos, and don't you worry, we're gonna get a whole lot of those this time because we got a lot of coaching fires to go through. I'll say that much for sure. Oh my goodness. Also, in case you guys were wondering, since I did, of course, due to a lot of things, miss chaos last week, I will be doing a rapid fire version of the recap to start out week 11's chaos. So stay tuned for that. And a whole lot more.
You're taking rapid fire from me and using it for your own nefarious purposes?
I'm going to, yeah. This is our channel now.
Wait, who the fuck signed that paperwork? Because I didn't.
Greg Sankey.
Oh, that motherfucker. I've been at
another one from you
for years.
Greg Sankey did not do anything. It is all Squidtard on that one.
Nah, it's okay, buddy. You can do whatever it is you wish. We all understand, of course. This is making weekly recap videos for college football games is absolutely the toughest thing we can do on this platform. So I'm not actually going to give you that much shit for using a rapid fire platform. Fuck, that's the only way I can talk about half of the games I'm able to talk about is by using the rapid fire. So by all means, do what you need to.
Yeah, that's right.
Nook Boras with the buzzer beater on the super chat.
Buzzer beater on the super chat. He says, all right, $4.99. Appreciate it. It feels odd not having a weekly coach firing lead the show. How about a show?
How about a show bet? Oh, how about a show bet? Stake your claim to an off-the-wall playoff team, $50. Nah. Don't know about that.
Jump. Sorry about that. We got to go ahead and end the show, Red. So we got to let's go ahead and end it, guys. Sorry to jump on out of here final second like I did, but yeah, no businesses needs to be taken care of on my end. So I will, guys. I appreciate y'all for being on here tonight. We'll see you guys next week. And Red, if there's anything you'd like to say before we call it wraps, go on right ahead.
Cinder blocks are bad for your teeth, so don't chew on them.
Yeah, you'd know, wouldn't you?
Thank you.
All right, guys.
We'll see you
Thank
next
y'all.
week.
Thank y'all so much. And yeah, we'll see y'all next week as per the usual Monday nights, 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, love y'all, peace to you, and of course, power to Tardaria. And check out y'all next time.
Peace.